This is my newest piece, channeled in meditation last night, inspired by and really created by the goddess. When I create my pieces, I don't plan anything, and that is why I am known as a visionary or intuitive artist, meaning I receive visions and I'm intuitive. These creations are really not mine. I am just the conduit and the antenna that receives these messages and creates them for the higher realms, for spirit, and in this case, for the goddess. I'm thinking there is no coincidence that this happened this weekend, Easter weekend, and there's a lot of talk in metaphysical circles, especially if you follow Chris Bledsoe, that the lady, who is the goddess that I'm talking about, she's God. She is source consciousness, the all that is. There's talk of her revealing a new knowledge right around this time, this weekend, because it's April 4th today, which is 4/4, which is a portal. All repeating number dates are portals. Now, my life path number is 22. You don't normally reduce that because it's a master number. Double-digit numbers are considered master numbers with extra power and extra responsibility, actually. But if you reduced 22, you would get 4. So every day of the month that corresponds to my life path number, and the same goes for you, when it's an exact match to your number, you're going to have a good day. And if it's a number that's compatible to your number, you'll have a good day. For instance, the 13th of every month is also good for me because 1 and 3 reduce to 4. You add the 1 and the 3 until you get a 1-digit number, and you get 4. And by the same token, the 22nd of every month will be good for me because my number is 22. But also you could reduce that to 4. So anyway, on the 4/4 portal, which I didn't even really think about until just now when I was saying it, me being a life path 4 being the number for stability, I created this piece. I had this gorgeous Lemurian natural point, and it's more of a tabular point because it's like a tablet. It's not a fat, thick point. It's more narrow on one side, you see, which I love. You don't always see these. So it's a very pleasing shape to hold. You can see the Lemurian lines and the etchings on it. When you rub your finger on these, they are said to hold codes and wisdom that come out when you rub the ridges and meditate. And it is said by some people I've heard that it's like a little message or a movie that plays only once. And then I like this part with these etchings. You can actually fit your thumb right here, and it's just a perfect meditation stone. And because of the way I wrapped it, you can still feel it. So I'm not an expert on wrapping stones. I am more of a channel it, let's get it done type of thing. I don't plan anything, like I said. So all of this is one piece of wire. I don't get fancy and do all this amazing weaving and stuff that other people do. I don't have the patience for that. And I'm also mostly blind. I'm legally blind. Like mostly blind, actually, because one of my eyes is fully blind and the other one is mostly blind. So being visually impaired, detailed wire work is not my thing. So I'm just going to do it like this. I like the fact that it's one continuous wire. I added this on separately, the amethyst, so that's a second wire. But anyway, this whole thing is one wire. The bail is one wire. This is one wire, and everything else is just one continuous wire. And the way that I see these pieces is they design themselves. I'm meditating. I was holding this crystal. This crystal is special because it was with me during December 2025 when I went on a trip with my friends to Skywatch with Chris Bledsoe for a week and watched the State of the World Forum, where Chris Bledsoe was a panelist, and so was our teacher in remote viewing, Bertie Jawowski, and our friend Jim Garrison the head of Ubiquity University, was the brainchild behind the forum and other forums that have come before. So I'm holding this crystal that was with me during literally the best week of my life. I could say that I had 3 of the best weeks of my life last year in 2025, all revolving around these trips to see orbs and learn to remote view. But this was the icing on the cake. This trip was spectacular, and I had a private orb experience where the orbs just basically choreographed a show for me, like a circus in the sky. And I was like, what? I was by myself, so they did something absolutely spectacular that I've never even heard anybody else talk about. And I haven't shared the full story yet. I will at some point. But anyway, this crystal was with me. And I gave away a bunch of crystals at that event to everybody who wanted one. I gave one to Chris Bledsoe as well. And it was a Lemurian point that had these ridges, but they were very pronounced, like a staircase. So I told him it was a stairway to heaven, which he said he would always remember because of the fact that the goddess gave him Stairway to Heaven as one of the songs that was channeled about her. So this crystal has a lot of meaning for me, and I keep it next to my bed, and I was meditating with it last night, and I just love holding it, and I realized it's kind of a triangle shape, which is important as well. I'm not sure exactly what the triangle situation is, other than the Trinity, you know. But it also honestly kind of looks like a goddess, especially with this thing in the middle. And these kind of look like arms that are holding and hugging this crystal. It looks very warm and loving. So I'm meditating last night with this crystal, and I see this design form itself. The metal forms around the crystal like a snake. When I design my jewelry, it's because I've watched it be created like a movie. I'm just watching it. I'm not thinking. I'm not imagining. I'm not designing. I'm not drawing. I'm just meditating, and then I see these completely detailed renditions in real time, like a movie, like some kind of graphic design of this wire, like a snake wrapping around this crystal in this exact form. Then I'll know how to wrap it where it won't fall out. And so I don't really have to work at designing jewelry or anything else. I just connect to the higher consciousness and channel it. I've always done that my whole life. And then today, after I did this, and this circle part emerged, because I wasn't sure how I would finish the top. And I realized I had these charms, and there's an amethyst, which I associate with the goddess in the crown chakra. And to me, this represents the divine feminine. This represents her and her loving arms holding all of us. This is a very sacred piece to me, especially because of it coming from her directly, from God, and for the timing of April 4th, 4/4, being my number, and being Easter weekend when she has been prophesized to be revealing some kind of new knowledge according to what she told Chris Bledsoe, because she's the same being that he talks to. And she's also the same being that was mentioned in the book, The Sophia Code. She's been channeled by others. I'm just going to show you in the light. And it looks good from both sides. I mean, you could wear it this way, but I love it this way. And I'm going to wear her today. I went out looking for orbs this morning, but didn't see anything. But I'll keep looking. By the way, I have more of these little charms, and they're $10. They are actual gemstones. This is amethyst. I have several of those. I have a few blue chalcedony ones, which is a gorgeous blue that you don't see very often. I have one labradorite with a lot of blue flash, and one rainbow moonstone with a lot of flash, just like this ring. This ring, it doesn't look like this ring because this ring is crazy. I mean, it has a rainbow in it, but you know what rainbow moonstone looks like. And I had to choose between them today for this, and I think I chose the right one, because amethyst is about the goddess.